Courtice began as a small crossroads village in the mid-1800s. Much of what defined it disappeared in 1988 when the highway was widened to 5 lanes. The village began in the 1850s and was originally known as Short's Corners after George Short, the local blacksmith. The name Courtice came later as early settlers with that name became more established here. This is where James Courtice operated a wagon maker shop beginning in 1874. Trades like this formed the backbone of early Courtice. On the northwest corner of Courtice Road and King Street stood the Rundle store built in the 1860s. For over a century, this is where people gathered for everyday necessities. The post office was established here in 1882. Courtice was chosen as the name, reflecting the prominence of the early settler family. The first postmaster was C.W. Lewis, and the Walter family ran the post office until it closed in 1963. Before Courtice had its name, this crossroads was known as Short's Corners, after George Short, who worked right here. The original Methodist church here was built in the mid-1800s. It was a wooden structure that had fallen into disrepair by the late 1800s. It was a modest building, though it played an important role in early community life. An intriguing tale was told of 3 youngsters who played tricks. They would enter this church at night when it was abandoned and scare the local children who happened to be walking by. They would drag chains on the floor while lighting lanterns and making ghastly sounds. Here stood the home of the Gay family, prominent builders in the early 1900s and onward. This house stood for generations before being lost to fire a few years ago. The old schoolhouse remains, though it now serves a different purpose as an Islamic center of worship. It's one of the few surviving structures from Courtice's early days. In 1988, many of these buildings were removed to widen the highway. What was once a crossroads village became a place where people now pass through without stopping.